prepare a few things, and one of the things I prepared was a cutout. And actually, let me put myself on the bottom right corner so that it's a little better to show this, because I want to use the majority of the canvas over on the left side to show this cutout view of what my Streamerbot looks like and some of the actions that I've created. So this is a nice little feature that I can do, and all I have to do is I want to make a command for this, but right now it is a manual action of turning on my D2 for Streamerbot. So here is a view of my Streamerbot, and it allows me to demo some of the effects that I have built in Streamerbot, and if you wanted to try to build something, how you might do it. Streamerbot is a tool that basically integrates with your OBS. OBS is the system or the platform that I'm using right now that allows me to stream. It basically takes capture devices like your webcams or any other cameras that you have, and it sends it onto Twitch, or you can send to YouTube or Instagram or any platform that you want. OBS is very flexible in that. You can even do multi-streaming where it sends to more than one of those at one time. So what I have done is I have used my Streamerbot and I've connected it with my OBS. So if you look at my integrations, I've got connections to Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Voice Mod. I mean, it's got a lot of connectivity. And then if you come in here to the settings, you can look, let's see, platforms, stream apps. Okay, so here's my OBS. So I'm connecting to my OBS with a port that's open on OBS that allows it to be connected to. And so what that means is when I go to create an action and then I start building and I want to add something, I can basically say, I want to go into my OBS and I want to, okay, let's take an existing one that has OBS in it. Okay, hold on a second here. So rather than show you new, okay, so let's say I was going to hide something, like my patio lights, for example. In this one, see how it says OBS source visibility state? So you can basically take the visibility of any source in your OBS, which a lot of times it's like an image, or it might be like a webcam, or it could be anything, and you can set that to be visible or invisible, or you can toggle it. So like in this case, my connection is to OBS on this IP and port, and the scene that I want to connect to, because in OBS you have multiple scenes, right? I have one for my opening, my intro. I have one for when I'm demonstrating stuff. I have one for news. I have one for games. So you pick the scene that you want to use. I got a bunch, and so I pick the one that I want to use. Once I have the scene, then you say within that scene, which source do you want to manipulate? I've got all these different sources for all the different redemptions that I've created. Some of them are like images, some are video, some are all kinds of things, right? So in this case, I had a short video when I first added the LED light strips to my patio in the back. I wanted a command where I could show that video to my viewers, and whether I was mobile or on desktop, I could just type this simple command and it would show this video on the stream of my LED lights in the patio. All right, so I had a source which represents the video called Light Strip Patio, so I selected that, and then I said I want to make that visible, and then after I've made it visible, I want to delay for 9 seconds, okay? So this is in milliseconds, so 9,000 milliseconds is 9 seconds. So, and then after 9 seconds, then I want to take that video and I want to turn it back to hidden, which kind of makes sense because the video is like 8.5 seconds long. So after the video is done, it's just cleaner to go ahead and set it to invisible. So now, okay, those are the actions that are represented by this action called patio. Those are the sub actions that are represented by this action called patio lights. So then how do I trigger this? How do I make it happen? So there is a command, a chat command that can be executed called !patio lights. But you might be wondering, okay, who all can execute this command? Can anybody? Well, no. I think I made this one to where only I could execute, because I wouldn't want just anybody saying, oh, let me go ahead and execute that every 5 seconds just to be annoying, right? So you can set up your permissions on your command any way you want. And I have tons of commands for different things, so I make sure and pick the one that's the right one. And then now, if I hide this... this view of the Streamerbot that I've been showing you, then I actually execute the command patio lights, then we should be able to see the video. Let me type patio lights in the chat and let's see if this works. Okay, so there you have it. I executed the command and it shows the video. Oh man, I had that bug strip hanging down from the fan in the middle of that video. That's unfortunate, but okay, that's fine. All right, so that gives you like a feel for like how I did a very simple, like a basic one that allowed us to make that visible, that video, okay? Then there are definitely more complicated ones. For example, if I go to this Ask Ouija right here, let's take a look at this one. This is a more involved one. This is the one where I make the Ouija board appear. Now check this out. This is more than just turning on sources. Okay, the first thing I do is I play a sound effect, okay? There's so many things you can do with the Streamerbot that in this case, I play a sound effect. Now let's say I forgot what the sound effect sounds like, so let's test it. I want to test the sound so I can remember what it sounds like. So then I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty good. That's a good sound. And maybe I tried some different sounds before I decided on that one. And then I have to read a line, and you can save information in a file anywhere you want on your system. I've saved this particular text file at this location, and this text file has a collection of 12 possible outcomes that the Ouija board could select. So if I were to open that file in Windows, you would see like eat a pepper, or do a drink toast, or play a random sound effect, or play a random video. And so all these choices are in there. So this code, this sub action, is going to read in that file and say, oh, I found 12 lines of things that I might do. Okay, then the next thing we do is we set the browser source to be the Ouija board, okay? And this happens to have been built by another person, a really cool, smart guy by the name of VRFLad, and I have talked about him before. If you want to see some of his videos about how he builds stuff and how you can borrow his code the way I have borrowed his code, check out his YouTube videos. They are really, really good, and that is posted in the chat if you want to find out more. All right, so then after we set that browser source, then we come down in here and we actually execute some code. This is where Streamerbot's very powerful, because you can literally execute C# code in Streamerbot. It's literally as powerful as what you can write in C# can be executed by Streamerbot. It is one of the most powerful platforms for writing scripts and mechanisms for enabling and disabling things. Notice how he did a function for a random line in a file. So basically, I've given Streamerbot this file that contains 12 lines of possible outcomes. He wrote a function that says, I want to grab one of the 12 lines out of the file, and then I want to do something with it. Okay, so that's his C# code that is called in this line. Then I want to send a Twitch message to the chat. So send a message as if you were me into the chat, and I want you to say whichever user executed this function, this redemption, I want you to say that user asked, what should we do to the Ouija board? And then I want the Ouija board to give back the response, and then I want to catch the response, and I want to echo it back out to the chat. So I know that seems like a lot, but it's not as bad as it seems, and there are actually 3 triggers that can make this happen. So remember in the one that I did for the patio lights, there was only one trigger. The trigger was a chat command called !patio lights. And I set the permissions on it to where only I could do it. So if anybody else chatted it, it would say, are you the broadcaster? Let me check. Nope, you're not. Okay, this command does not trigger. But if I type patio lights, are you the broadcaster? Yes, you are. Okay, you're permitted. And this command is associated with this action. Boom, fire it. there goes the video. All right. So this one has 3 triggers. Okay. One of them is a Twitch command, which is for subs. So I allow subs to have a benefit or a perk that they can just type commands to make things happen. So there is a command. Actually, there's like 3 different commands that could be used to make it easier. Ask Ouija, Ouija, or Ouija board. If a sub in my channel types any of those 3 commands, it will trigger this action. But if you're not a sub, anybody else can do a channel point redemption, which is right here. There's a reward redemption called Ask Ouija. And if you go on my Twitch channel down to the little heart that's next to where you chat, and you open it up and you look at all the possible reward redemptions that are there, there's like TTS and there's like all these kinds of funny effects. If you scroll down, there's one that says Ask Ouija board. And I think it costs like 500 or maybe 600. You do that and then it'll execute. And then the last thing is you can use my Stream Elements store. So if you go into my Stream Elements store and you redeem the Ask Ouija effect, my code has a way to detect that and it will trigger. All right. So since I am like a sub in my own channel, I'm going to demonstrate this by typing Ask Ouija, and you will see that it will trigger the effect, and you can see what the overall outcome of is, what it looks like when I do that. So let me go ahead and type Ask Ouija in the chat and let's see what happens. Ah, a riddle. Okay, cool. Yeah, so sometimes if I'm paying attention to the graphic, I will see it spell the word riddle on the Ouija board, but sometimes it goes by kind of quickly and I miss it. That's why I want to send it to the chat so that I have a way of checking, well, what did it say? I missed it. What was it? And in the chat, I can see, oh, Dr. D executed the redemption. What should we do? And the Ouija board said riddle. All right. So if that was real, if somebody had really redeemed that, I would pull out one of my favorite riddles and I would ask you guys, riddle me this, and I would tell you, and then maybe I would give like 1,000 or 2,000 points to anybody who could answer the riddle. So anyway.